Welcome back to another episode of Disguised Horse. As always, thanks for being here, but today we're going to be working on these brakes. And let's get this car in the garage so we can get these wheels off. Alright, so we got the car in the garage. We got to get it up on some jack stands, but since we got 4 different types of wheels, I figured we could do 4 different experiments. For starters, paper towels. I know, super complex, but we're gonna get the wheels off. We're gonna wipe them down, see how it works with just paper towels. On the next wheel, some simple Dawn house soap. Now, most people are on a budget. I'm on a budget, so that's why Dawn is gonna go with it. Moving on to brakes 3. I got some brake clean from our local AutoZone. Now this stuff runs about $9, $10 a bottle depending on where you get it. So that's why I want to start with the cheaper things too, just to make sure we can get these brakes shining. Finally, we have our heavy duty wheel cleaner from Gritos. Now this stuff should be really good. It's powerful, it's pH balanced and with color changing technology. How crazy is that? But this stuff really should get these brakes to where I want it to be. I want you to be able to see them through the wheels, and then later on I'll just be able to use it on the face of the wheels for a quick clean during a car wash. So we got the jacks out, we got our wrench, we got our wheel key. Let's loosen the bolts on the wheels and then we'll start jacking it up. Alright, so after realizing I'm a giant baby, we resorted to a breaker bar, so now we're just going to continue. Now when you're jacking your car up, it's important to protect those pinch welds. In the words of Jimmy Oakes, you'll save future Jimmy later. Let's get this first wheel off and see what we're working with. She's free. All right, now that the wheel's off, we can inspect our brakes. Looks like our pads are still relatively thick. There's not a big lip on these drilled rotors. So I think we're in a pretty good spot. We're not gonna have to do any brake work for a while. But I will keep an eye on them. If they do start to fade or start to feel weird or start to chatter when I decel, we'll definitely do pads and rotor swap sometime, or maybe even just a pad slap if these guys are still good. For right now, let's get started on our first experiment with just our paper towels. Well, I don't know why you can see this, but it really didn't do too much with just a paper towel. I'm going to use the Gritos and spray it down and see how much of a difference we can get. All right, we're going to let that sit for a few minutes. I'm going to throw some cardboard down so we don't get drips all over the garage here. Decided to get some gloves, safety first. I sprayed some Gritos. It's already starting to change a little bit in color here. I got the cardboard down because it's starting to drip. I decided to get the gloves because I literally touched it once and my hands were covered in brake dust. And I was like, not the coolest thing. I don't really like to get my hands super dirty. I know, you want those masculine hands, but at the same time, like, I work with chemicals at work. I know there's one in particular that when I touch it, I actually feel kind of sick later on in the day. So I just wanted to keep that PPE mindset going. Let's start wiping it down with that same paper towel we used earlier. Didn't work too well, but wow, what a difference this stuff makes. Like, I might have to get a brush in here. I'll see what I have laying around the house and see if I can maybe help out with some of this grime on here, just to do our best. These might need to be re-powder coated at some point in time. You know, they are from 2018, so we're almost 5 years of wear and tear. With let's just say, I don't know what the guy's history was. Maybe whoever had it before me was wonderful and amazing and loved the car and everything, but it just brakes are neglected. Nobody really thinks about, oh, let me take care of the brakes. Let me take my wheels off and do a wheel cleaning or a brake cleaning video for the internet. And I'm almost positive the guy before me wasn't thinking that. So, yeah, I mean, just right now, let me try to find a brush and we'll spray a little bit more and see where we get. Now I know what you're gonna say. More power, baby! Forgot. So this is just a simple. This video is getting more complex by the minute. So if you go on Amazon, you can get this bathroom cleaning set. So I actually use the sister, whatever you want to call it, for it. The other piece of this set for cleaning our tile showers. But this is pretty awesome. So, I mean, Used a little bit of power, you know, not too much of a difference. I think this is all kind of baked on at this point. You know, our kind of last bet is going to be a pressure washer. And honestly, I don't want to do all that. I just kind of want them to shine a little bit more behind the wheels. But we still got 3 more experiments and, you know, 1 experiment of just the Gritos to see what we can do. So I'm going to wipe this down a little bit more, start throwing this wheel back on and move on to our Dawn soap experiment. All right, so 1 wheel back on. We're not going to torque it down right now. It's tight enough, so we'll get the other wheel off, we'll clean it, and then we'll put it down, then we'll tighten it up again, and then we'll use our torque wrench. All right, for wheel number 2, we've got our Dawn, we've got our bucket of soapy water with our Dawn, and, you know, because we care about the environment, more paper towels. So let's get this wheel off and start cleaning, see what we get. Yeehaw, wheel number 2. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, Matt, why are you just using a bucket of soapy water? Well, because guys, I don't want you guys to be at home and be like, oh my God, he's using all sponsored products and all stuff I can't afford. This is unbelievable. Why would you make a video where not everybody else could replicate or do what you're doing? Well, that's why I'm here, because I care about you guys. I want you guys to want to do this stuff. Like for a long time, I've always wanted to do this stuff. I remember one time I told myself I was going to drop out of the University of Central Florida and go to one of the trade schools, because I do believe in trades. I don't think everything, you know, oh my God, you have a master's degree in aeronautics, Matt. I'm like, yeah, that's cool and all, but like, you know, trade stuff is still cool too. Like when you hear about guys making, you know, they're business owners and they're plumbers, they make all this money. I'm like, damn, that sounds great. I wish I could do that. And but I got home one day, my parents were like, nah, man, nah, you don't want to do that. You gotta get a degree. And this was, you know, 2008, 9, 10. I'm just like, man, why didn't I start doing this then, making YouTube videos then? And I think really it was the entry point. This is actually working a lot better than just paper towels. You know, I thought YouTube was really stupid back in the day, because like I think it was because of the things that were on it. And now I think there's so many more interesting people on YouTube nowadays than what were on there back in the day, because I think it was just like really weird clips and I didn't really understand it. You know, now that I'm older and wiser, right? How dumb is that? I think there's some really quality people on there, and I hope the people I like to watch every day and, you know, look forward to their videos, I hope I could be one of those people for you, you know, at one point in time. But let me know what you guys think. And right now I'm thinking I should use Dawn soap on literally everything. This looks night and day better. I'm so impressed with just the Dawn soap and water on these brake calipers that I'm blown away right now. I'm literally blown away. So I'm gonna try to get some more of these nooks and crannies cleaned off, and we'll get the wheel back on and we'll be on to the next one. I feel really dumb. You know, this is just one of those times in life where you're like, man, I spent probably like $30 on brake cleaner and some of the Gritos, and I'm using the Dawn soap, and it's absolutely destroyed the competition so far. There's some scratches, there's some wear, but for all intents and purposes, these look brand new. I'm sure the inside is probably still a little dirty, but like I'm not trying to like lay on my back right now. It's not that serious. Wow, just wow. All right, let's get the wheel back on and move on to the next wheel. Well, we're gonna have to get the car jacked up on the other side, and it's gonna take. All right, once again, to use our wrench, our key, and our breaker bar to get these nuts loose. got all our supplies on the other side. Let's get this wheel off and get cleaning. All right, got the wheel off, gave it a quick look for any nails. We're all good there. So going forward on the next two, I'm going to try them all and see how things go. You know, so we'll start plain paper towel. Honestly, don't want to waste my time. All right, got our bucket of Dawn. Once again, it's it just cleans it so fast that it's hard to want to use the other products. I don't know what kind of secret Dawn has to clean off those little birdies on the front of the can, but golly gee. All right, well, we're gonna use a little more paper towels, get some more Dawn on there. Then I'll spray some brake clean, because I think it's just mainly the fronts that are the big issue. Let's see. I think it's just the fronts, because when you're braking, you're using more of the front brakes anyways. Like, you don't really need 6-piston brakes on your rear wheels. That's overkill unless you're, you know, really going after it with like a Viper or something with more than 300 horsepower. You know what I mean? So, well, I think my suspicions are confirmed with this. I think it is just the front ones that are probably going to need to be resurfaced at some point in time, because after we got that initial layer off, like, our Dawn isn't even doing the job. So I'm just going to try to get after it for a few more minutes and then let you know how it goes. All right, so gave it the old college try. I don't think it's going to get much better. Like, I think this is actually some burned from, I guess they were heated up and cooled off too quick or something along those lines, but I don't think this is going to get much better. Like I said, even if I just kind of, you know, get after it while it's just dry, there's really not much we can do here. I think it's just going to, it is what it is kind of thing, but it was worth a shot. Hopefully the rear ones clean up just like the other side. But man, these are some beefy boys. It's a bummer. Like I said, I think they're going to have to go off to powder coating at some point in time. But once again, it's my daily driver, so probably not going to happen. Yeah, on to the next one. All right, we're on to the final wheel. Let's get it off. Let's get it clean. All right, got our Dawn soap. Hopefully this is just as easy as last time. Let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect. Just like last time. It's coming off so easy. You ever wonder how much less your back brakes get used? Here's your answer. All right, so not as good as the other one. I wonder if I might be having some braking issues. Maybe I'll get to around to a brake bleed one of these days. I mean, all you gotta really do is pop this little cap off and get to pressing. But I wonder. But like I said, not as good as the other side, but still a lot better than it was. People know I have an STI now by the brakes. No, don't mind the big wing, but at least you know now we've got an STI on our hands. And I think that's gonna be kind of it for cleaning these guys off. Let me get the wheel back on and we'll wrap things up. All right, a little bit of time's gone by. Let's get the car off the jacks and then we'll get to tightening down all the lug nuts. This video isn't sponsored by AutoZone, but they do have some quality products. I was able to pick up a torque wrench, about 50, 60 bucks. Seems pretty good quality. Let's get it unboxed and check it out. All right, so the box is a little weird. I don't know why they didn't just have a lid for it that I could reuse, but it seems pretty quality, seems pretty simple to use. If you want to, all right, we're set right at 0, set it right at 100, get it nice and tight. All right, let's find a wrench, get this on. All right, let's hop over to the other side. All right, now that we got everything torqued down, I'm gonna take it for a quick ride around the block, make sure everything's good to go, and we'll wrap this up. All right, so some final thoughts. Don't really think it was the most worth it thing I've ever done on the STI. You know, we're still learning, but it was a good learning experience. The Greedos, I don't really know if it was the best for what I was trying to do today. I think this is really good for like the wheel itself, not so much the brake calipers. The brake clean, once again, I don't know if it was really worth it. Like, I understand what it's for and I understand why it's used, but I just think those my front brakes are a little too far gone for saving. I think the only way to really save them going forward is going to be a full powder coat, and I don't really know how worth it that's going to be. I mean, they work fine. I feel like if I was going to take them all apart and put them all back together, yeah, probably, but it'd still be about a week turnaround. So unless I had another car to drive around, which unfortunately I don't, I think the best thing we're going to do is just let them be for right now. And honestly, the Dawn soap in my little ducky here was probably the best thing for what we were trying to do today. The only one that really stood out was the driver's side rear caliper, and like I said, I don't know if it's getting that much use or not, but that one really came to life with just some simple soap and water. And honestly, some soap and water on the other ones would have been just fine. And I think these other products were just kind of overkill. They're great products, but I just think it was overkill for what we're trying to do today. But we did get a really cool tool out of all of this. Yes, it was 50-60 bucks, but I don't have a torque wrench, and now I do. So it was a learning experience. I think I'll be able to do my own brake work next time, whether it's a pad slap or it's full rotors and pads, but we'll see how it gets, how we get there, and maybe one day we can do that and a brake bleed, which would be super cool because they're 6-piston. They do have the ability to bleed them right there on the brake themselves. Thanks for commenting, subscribing. If there's anything else you guys want to see, like I said, we're almost to the end of January. I'm not sure we're gonna hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, but this video might go viral. You never know. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Tell me your thoughts, comments down below, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.